Wow, that's really dark. All right, hi class. I want to talk to you about your final. So I have what we're going to be doing is something very similar to many of our projects this year. So hopefully it will be pretty familiar. And you may not have done as much writing, but you're going to be doing some self-evaluation and reflecting on topics that we've been studying all year. So I want to show you some tools that you can use to make this a little faster and easier, because that's fine with me. The one thing I do not want to see you doing is going on Google Images and just copying something. Please don't do that. It's the one thing I don't want to see. I want to see you try to create an original drawing. All right? Even if it's an attempt, just try. This is a lot like our drawing assignment from about a month and a half ago, where I wanted you to brainstorm about your idea. So you're going to choose a topic. Any topic that's school appropriate, won't get you in trouble. Fine, that's perfect. Anything you like drawing or that you're interested in is perfect. Just choose something that you're interested in and then do the idea web and upload it to Google Classroom, and that will give you some extra credit as well. Now, if you choose not to do that, you'll just be, less likely to get that extra credit. But if you actually upload, your first step is choose your topic, brainstorm, make that idea web. So do that. Easy grade. Now, I am not expecting you to use color because I know we have not provided you with those materials. If you happen to have something available, if you have any art supplies, feel free to use them, particularly at the end when your drawing is finished. But there's no pressure to use any kind of paints or pencils that we haven't given you. Plain white paper and pencil. That's all you need. If you would like to do something like, instead of filling the whole page, fold it in half, that's fine. Remember that I want you to use the space though. Even if it's a small work, you need to think about how you're using this space. I don't want a lot of negative space. Full page or half page, either way is fine. Now, your drawing needs to be complete, and I will include some examples on this page of incomplete drawings. It should not look like a cartoon outline. It should not only be an outline. It needs to have texture, so you should be trying, even if it's not, I need to see you trying things that we've been covering this year. So try to create textures so that things look like they might feel. Include dark and light areas, so you're creating value. And this should be an original image. So I do not want to, let's say you want to draw a bird, and I Google bird drawing, and the first thing that pops up is exactly what you're sending me. Even if you copied it, that is not what I want for your final exam. That will be a problem. We don't want problems at this point. So what I would like to see you doing is taking that idea web that you create and taking a few ideas from it, pull them together, create something of your own. Even if it's only 3 of those ideas, put them together into something that is yours. And I want to see variety. I want to see different kinds of lines, short, long, jagged, flowing, curves, spirals, whatever works with what you're drawing. And you're going to be using different kind of lines and marks to create your textures, and maybe even to create value, because remember, we learned a lot of different ways you can create value. Cross-hatching, hatching, stippling, blending. So as you're going through this, keep track of what you're doing, and you will have plenty to say when you get to the writing portion. So when you get to the writing part, you're going to talk about a few different things. Now, I want to show you a little bit of a trick, because for a topic like art, sometimes it's easier to talk than it is to type. Now we're going to go to my sample. Let's see how this works. All right, so I'm going to change the address here. So here we are, part 1, reflection on the arts. So this is where I want you to discuss the kind of opinions you had about art when you started class versus what you think about art and creativity now. Did anything change? How did this class maybe shift some things that you thought before? How does art communicate ideas? We talked about that a lot throughout the year. If you think about nonverbal communication and color theory and the different kinds of lines and shapes and what they can mean, we learned a lot about how art communicates ideas. Why do you think people create art? Now, that's really a place for you to give your opinion, maybe think back to some of the discussions we've had. We even did a particular project where we were creating art to try to spread a message, if you remember Red Ribbon Week. Now, let's see if this works. We're going to go to a document, and I just want to show you something. Now, this may or may not be how you want to complete your work, but if you go to your Google Docs, what I'm going to want you to do is take a picture of your work and paste it in here so I can see it. Everything's blowing up. Now, go to Tools. You may need to do this in a quiet place. And go to Voice Typing. Now, as Google listens to me speak, it's going to type everything I say. So if you are working on your assignment, you can think about what you would say to me if we were sitting in class discussing your project. And then it will just type it right there for you. And this works really nicely for a lot of people. Now, at the end, I'd like you to go over it and make sure that you have your punctuation in place, because it does not add punctuation or make sure that your sentences are complete. It will just type everything that you say, as you can see. All right? It's just a nice tool to have in case you're going through your finals and you're getting really tired of writing down every single essay and so on. Let's delete that. Hold on. Now going back to the actual final exam. Yes. For the description, I want you to describe what you drew. That's all it is. I'll send you a picture of something I describe. Let's look around.
What?
We have a painting on the wall. I could pretend that I painted it. It is a desert landscape. It shows cactuses and brush and small plants in front of a wide mountain range and a sunset. The sky is different colors of blue, turquoise, yellow, orange, different shades of red. And overall, the picture is full of color. I don't see any actual black, I don't think. There's like a deep gray, but
Yeah.
mostly it is all plants and nature. That's what fills the entire picture. Now, the thing that stands out the most is it's in the foreground on the right side. and it's a very tall cactus. It reaches from almost the bottom of the painting to practically the top of the painting. And the second largest thing in the picture is a mountain range in the background. And what your eye does when you look at this picture is it travels from that tall cactus across to the smaller cactus and toward this lighter path area back toward the mountain range. Look how much I just said. If you look at all this text, it's an entire paragraph easily. So for something like my class, I wish I'd known about this feature sooner, honestly, because you might have written a lot more for my assignments. But I really don't mind if you do this, but I would like you to go through it and take some time, like take a few minutes to make sure that your sentences are put together and making sense. So I may want to take out this beginning.
Almost everyone in this house uses it.
And I did not make this painting, but oh shush. My kids love it, but they have to like take it easy on the voice typing. All right, guys. So this is what your exam is actually going to look like. It describes what you need to do to prepare. You need to choose your topic, like I said earlier, and I would like you to upload your idea web. Then you need to start drawing. You need to come up with your idea, have your idea web handy, and start drawing. And I would love it if you sent me a progress sketch after you start. Now, this is something where you have time to complete your exams. You have from today until like the 10th, I believe it is, to upload your exams. So that's great. You have plenty of time if you start working on it bit by bit. Now, if you send me some progress pictures, I can give you some feedback on any of the work that you're doing. I like to leave comments and I'll give you some input if you would like. Now, remember, the size doesn't have to be large. It can be small. If you want to get a really great grade, you need to figure out how to create an original image, use a variety of lines and marks, look up textures for the kind of things that you're drawing. That's the kind of thing I really don't mind if you want to copy. I don't want you copying your entire image, but if you look up bark on a tree, like bark texture or textures for fabrics, and you try to copy that, that's fantastic. That's using a reference image. Now remember, do not leave it like a cartoon. Do not leave your drawing as an outline or you will not be happy. I am not going to grade that well. You need to try to create a completed drawing. That is all your own design. Now, range of values, again, dark and light. I want to see a range. I want to see dark, I want to see light, and I want to see grays in between. And then you'll need to go through each part of the written portions. And don't forget to use the voice typing. I think it would be very helpful. It's easier to talk about things a lot of the time. And like I just said, reflecting on the arts, talk about art and creativity. Think about what we learned about how art communicates ideas. Whatever you draw, I want you to describe it. Take a paragraph. That doesn't have to be a long paragraph, but describe what you see as if you're talking to someone on the phone and they can't see it. It's not a smartphone. And then this it shouldn't be too difficult. There are a lot of techniques that we've used over and over again, like cross-hatching. Discuss the things that you've learned that you used in your drawing. So there's an entire list here. Did you use stippling? Did you use contour lines? High contrast, which would be a lot of, bright brights and darks like black and white. But I don't want an entirely black and white picture. Are there narrow sections? What kind of lines are there? Horizontal, vertical, diagonal? Are there wavy, curved lines? Is it more of a jagged kind of line that you're tending to use? And that's pretty much it. And then talk, did it turn out the way you want? Even if you wind up with kind of like not a drawing that you'd want to put up on your wall, even if it's not entirely successful, just think about how you are doing it and describe, just talk about it. Explain what you think you did well, and then explain where you think you could improve. And I do not want you to write 53 sentences. I only need 3 to 5. It said 53. I don't want to torture you.
That's a lot.
Yeah, about 50. All right, let's take a look at the rubric here. Basically, this is all what I just explained to you. So I want to see that you're thinking about why people make art, giving some of the reasons that we've talked about, and really try to explain your ideas and what they were before, what they were after taking the class. Now let's see if I can turn this off. Nope, I can't figure. All right, so if you would like to get a 5 or a 4, which that's like an A, between an A and a B, you really need to put some time and thought into this assignment, but it's not impossible. Make sure that you upload your planning work, your idea web, and any sketches that you start. And if you do that, you'll have a chance for me to give you some, of some of my opinion. Now that would be, I would see you using the creative process that I've been trying to teach you all year. Then you need to understand how you describe your artwork is going to show me whether you understand creating emphasis, or what is the focal point in your artwork? What's the largest, most dominating part of the image? So usually the largest or most centered part is the focal point. So take a look at what you wind up drawing. What do you want to focus on? When someone looks at it, what do you want them to see is important? Now, I will be looking at your drawing skills, but I don't want you to feel intimidated. I'm not expecting you to become Leonardo da Vinci after Foundations of Art. All I want to see is that you actually remember the techniques that you've learned, even if it's just some of them, in order to create an image, and that you're trying, okay? So try to include that variety, different kinds of marks for different kinds of parts of the picture. Use texture, create dark and light areas. Think about what you're doing based on what we did in class, because it seems almost like we're forgetting. Do not leave just outlines. I know I'm repeating myself, but if I'm repeating myself, it's because it's really important. I want you guys to do well. So if there's anything that you start to see and you're having trouble with, send me a picture, okay? And I'll be able to leave a comment, or we can talk about it. Even though it's your final, if you have questions, I'm okay with that. Unless it's like asking me to do it for you. I'm not going to do that, but I'm here to talk about it. This is a project. And then with the essay, if you would like me to see what you're writing about just to make sure you're on track, I'll give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't mind giving you a little progress, snapshot at how you're doing. That's fine. Let's do that. All right, so email me if you have any questions. I am going to actually give another demonstration of doing a drawing that's similar to this assignment, so that you can see how I mean, like exactly what I mean when I'm saying take your ideas from that idea web and weave them together into your own original image. This seems like a hard idea, but we've been doing that all year long in different ways. So I'm going to do another demonstration of it with the final exam in mind. So if you would like to send me any questions or concerns about your assignments, if you have missing work, please go through the May assignments and complete at least 4, okay? But if you email me, that's basically what I'm going to say. If you're missing a lot of work, complete 4 and make sure you do them in order. And I will talk to you about excusing work, or we can figure something out. But if you were passing the class before we went to remote learning and you haven't been lately, please email me. Please. Okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye.